Okay, if you didn't know, tonight, the Fighting Irish are taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes in the national championship for college football. And sometimes I'm going to talk about non-Kansas history stuff, and I want to talk about how the Fighting Irish got their name. In the 1920s, there was a group of individuals who liked to go around wearing their mother's bed sheets and wearing pointing hats and burning crosses to talk about how much they hated people who didn't look just like them. This particular group had a stranglehold on the state of Indiana, where Notre Dame is located. And this group absolutely hated Catholics because they were all immigrants and other bad things that make no sense in today's day and age. They held their huge rally, they marched through the streets of South Bend, and then a bunch of these out-of-towners are walking through the streets and they start to get lost. The students of Notre Dame, who knew they were coming, decided this presented a wonderful opportunity for them to have a little fun with the Crazy Cracker Club. The gentleman would be walking down the street, they'd ask for directions, the students would send them down alleyways and say, you go there and take a left. And when they got there and took a left, they ran into other students with baseball bats, clubs, and other instruments to kind of let these guys know that they weren't welcome in South Bend. It gets so bad that the Crazy Crackers decide to go back to their clubhouse and hide out and get away from the students who are chasing them and pelting them and attacking them all throughout South Bend. The top two floors of the establishment had been rented out by, the pointy hats. The bottom floor of the establishment was a grocery store. And out in front of the grocery store, they had a cart full of potatoes. The Irish students began grabbing the potatoes and throwing them up to the third and second floor windows to pelt the Klansmen who are inside. They get the quarterback of the Notre Dame Irish football team, Harry Stuhldreher, to grab potatoes and start launching them as hard as he could. Stuhldreher was one of the infamous four horsemen of the Notre Dame football team. They only lost 2 games their entire time playing in 4 years. Inside, on the top floor of this establishment, they have a cross that has red lights put into it to represent the fiery cross of these hooded morons. Stuhldreher grabs a potato and starts pelting it out to knock out those bulbs. As the Klansmen are huddled inside, students start to make their way up. They're met with guns and people threatening to attack them, and it's just getting all out of hand. The president of Notre Dame University goes out, gets on top of the potato cart, and makes an announcement to his students to go back. This is not how good Catholics act, and we must treat these people with charity, even if they aren't going to treat us with charity themselves. The chief of police of South Bend asked one of the officials of the university, how are they going to keep this from happening again? And he said, you have to understand, I have 2,000 red-blooded American Catholic boys. They're not going to take kindly to this thing happening again. The newspaper headlines when talking about the riot between the Klansmen and the Irish students led with, Fighting Irish takes on Klan. And ever since then, the Notre Dame football team and all athletic teams have been known as the Fighting Irish because you just got to love it. So there you go. I hope Notre Dame wins tonight. My wife's an Ohio State fan, so it's going to be a little difficult for me, but I don't care. Play like a champion today. Go Irish!